have to make sure I'm standing in the right spot for our super videographer over here. Let's give Josh a hand. Well, here we are, May Superintendent's Forum. We've made it through the year. We're all still in one piece, I think. Still see some smiles out there. I think this is a great way to wrap up our year with SunFest sponsoring our lunch today. We are very fortunate to have the president of SunFest as one of our employees. So Laura, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Well, I kind of think that's the other way around. SunFest is very fortunate to have Friday County Tech, who's been a very, very loyal corporate sponsor of Youth Fest for us for many years. So Tech has supported us not only financially, but each and every one of you volunteered hours for us, hundreds of hours that we couldn't have done without. Volunteer is almost more important than financial. It certainly gets down to the nitty-gritty part of making it all happen. So thank you all very much for that. And I want to recognize Scott Sutherland and his group of adult students that did the cooking today. And again, thank you very much. SunFest turns 30 this year, and we can only do that by the generosity and the continued support of Friday County Tech and our other local sponsors. Thank you.
Laura. Lorraine is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today. So Lorraine, if you'd like to come up. We actually have a flag today.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lorraine. And if you guys enjoy your hamburgers and your hot dogs and you're planning a cookout over Memorial Day weekend, we have another employee that could probably provide those hamburgers and hot dogs for you. McFerrin's quality meats. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Fields.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Happy Friday. Yeah. Congratulations on being named one of the top places to work in Oklahoma. Pretty exciting news. I'm really proud of all of you. We don't want to take that for granted because it is such a big darn deal. It looks like they've changed it this year and they've combined the small group and large group. So we're not sure how that's going to look, but only 30 companies in Oklahoma have been recognized now. We don't know how many applied. I think it's something like 8,000 or something. That's what I told the board last night. Anyway, we know it's a lot, so to make the cut's a really big deal. So congratulations to all of you. I'm pretty happy about that. Just going to take a few minutes to bring you up to speed on a few things that are going on. Lots and lots of good news. We had a board meeting last night, and it lasted less than an hour, so that's always good. We had a new board member, Mary Shankashay. She was with us last night. You may recall she was appointed at last month's meeting, and she was here last night. And she's really excited, so that 45-minute meeting turned into 2 hours for Mr. Fields because I hang around and talk to her. And I was happy to do that. Very happy to do that. So, last night at the board meeting, we hired the rest of the staff, so all of us have officially been hired for next year. So. Before we get too far, I forgot, Chuck has a guest with us today. Little Chuck, stand up. He had a soccer game last night and he scored how many goals? 2. We're glad to have you here, buddy. We had a foundation board meeting this week as well. When we planned these foundation board meetings, the idea was we'd have a foundation board meeting the same week as a regular board meeting and get it all over with. That was a really bad idea. I think it was Kim's idea. But we do get them all over with pretty quick. So the board went board meeting with the foundation. It's starting to be a big deal as we grow the foundation. We get more board members on track. So we updated some new bylaws that haven't been updated in about 30 years, so we're now legal. We also got our stuff in order in terms of the people at Tri-County that can serve in different capacities. Kim's been the treasurer and the executive director of the foundation, and that's probably not the best idea when you're running a foundation, especially if you're trying to grow one. So the board did appoint Tara Gottwald as the new executive director this past year. We were able to do that because of the way Tara's contract is structured. So we can't work technically for the foundation. So any work that we do for the foundation has to be reimbursed to Tri-County. So we have to be careful not to spend too much time on that. So time that Tara has off, she can spend on the foundation as we grow that. We have 28 people now that are members of the superintendent circle. So pretty happy about that. And Kim told me that our growth in our monthly income is up 41% over last year. You're giving, so thank you all very much for making a tremendous difference in the lives of our students. And that's 90 to 92%. We have 100 employees, so 92 of you actually contribute routinely to the foundation. So I want to express my thanks to you for that as well. Also, the board last night acted on a retirement. Jim Gill has decided to retire. Jim, stand up. It's my understanding you're going to relocate. Did I hear that right? Where are you moving to? Cleveland, Ohio? Well, we're happy for you, so congratulations. Thanks to everybody that was at the National Technical Honor Society on Tuesday. It was just so much fun. I thought having it in our new event center, and kids just looked fabulous. The staff looked fabulous. Tanya Hanna cannot put posts about her son on Facebook. So he looked good too. So thanks to everybody that came to that, and especially to Jeanette Miller who organized that. So thanks, Jeanette. On a small piece of sad news, I was just talking with Tara. David Gardner's sister was in a really bad car accident. Was it yesterday? Daughter, I'm sorry, daughter. Yesterday, cracked her pelvis, and surgery probably today, wheelchair for quite some time. So keep David in your thoughts and his daughter this weekend. Sorry to hear that. I will tell you what, I want to talk to you a little bit about the statewide budget, but before we get to that, let's recognize some individuals for White Bisons. We have 9 of them this month, and of course those were outlined in the Friday announcement, some of them today, but let's recognize Eric Randall. And Eric, I must say, you took that pie like a man. No protective equipment at all.
I wish I could say the same about you.
You know what? I thought everybody was rehired for next year. Where is Juan anyway? There he is. We should get him my advice for that. The way Carrie was laughing over here, I'm not sure we'd give her one, but Carrie Miller, I saw you over there. Congratulations, Carrie. How about Joni Graham? I saw Joni earlier. There you go, Joni. And same area, Michelle Radcliffe. Congratulations, Michelle. I'm not sure how this happened. He hadn't been here in a month. Larry Brash. There you go, Larry. Who gave you that award?
I think it was Rick Evans.
Whatever. Tanya? How's that working out for your IOP? Pretty good. Tough crowd, huh? Oh, Tara Gottwald, too. And Dustin Smith. Dustin was actually nominated or two, but just before the meeting, he told me that he got credit for something he didn't do, that David actually did it, so Dave Johnson gets one as well. Thank you, David. And Darlene Young. Oh, two more things, and I'm done for today. One piece of information you need to be aware of that you may have heard through the grapevine at this point, but there was really no other way to handle it. The people that rent from us over in the Workforce Center, we have notified them that they're going to have to vacate that area. We've given them 6 or so months to vacate. They've been good partners for a very, very long time, and we hate to see them go. As Tri-County grows, it's necessary for us to use that space. That is where your new fitness center will be located. You know, we talk about things, gang, things that we can share and things that we can't. That's one of those things that, you know, you can't just put that on Friday announcements to say, hey, we're evicting our... So, if you didn't know before today, that was by design. So we've been working behind the scenes to make that a good transition for them, and we think that's going to work out just fine. If you hear anything negative or need any more information, if you let me or Kim know, that would be great. The idea is to begin planning for the fitness facility later this summer, and perhaps start construction as early as January. And the idea would be a 6-month turnaround, but it would probably be a tad bit longer. So I think that's the ideal place. We've looked in the middle of the campus, but we want it to be a 24/7 facility for all of us. So coming and going, parking right there, it just seems to be the ideal location. So I think it's finally going to happen. So really happy about that. And as I wrap up my comments today, the state legislatures finishing up their session. And as usual, there's all kinds of turmoil going on. It appears that Career Tech will get a flat budget, although there's some glimmer that there could be a little bit of a bump for Career Tech. In terms of education, it seems that we're in a pretty good place right now. Ahead of K-12 and higher ed, we're competing, but this might be our year. So flat budget is not necessarily a good thing. That represents about 17% of our dollars. We did the same thing we got last year, and I think I told you this last month, but we did get the National Board Certification money reimbursed to us. So we paid that out. We're going to get it, I think, 15/10, is what they said. So that was $30,000 per budget. So glad to have that back. So keep your fingers crossed. They'll wrap up and hopefully won't do too much. You're probably hearing a lot about state income tax reduction. Something will happen with that. It's likely to be about reduce income tax to probably 4.95%, and that's just the way it's going to be. So get ready for that. Anything else? Okay, gang, thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Okay, Chuck did a wonderful job presenting to the board last night about his work group and what's going on with the technology plan. So help me welcome Chuck up here to give you an update. Chuck.
Thanks for coming out today. It was free, this is the tech plan we did for the Board of Education last night. Basically, just we turn this in every year so we can get some funding back from the government. The following is the called Universal Services Fund, which is like about $5 for your phone bill every month. It was originally designed to provide rural phone internet service for schools, but it's been expanded every year. So basically, we get our internet and our telephones and cell phones, things like that, paid for with this. Plus, we can also apply for extended benefits for internal services like cabling, routers, switchgear, and also things like our polyphone distance equipment. So we put this plan together every year and submit it, and then usually it takes a couple of years for them to come back and award everything. They base the awards on school lunch programs, so it's a needs-based smaller schools, kind of like our swimming schools, they'll get like a higher percentage, and the more advanced schools, they'll get a much lesser discount on stuff. So we actually do fairly well. We get about an 8% discount, but a lot of schools can go up to almost 9% discount. Okay, our budget for the last 3 years has been about $430,000, $480,000. Last year's our budget was about $200,000 more because we did the 3 distance learning rooms. We actually have brand new HD equipment in there, cameras, sending equipment for Polycom units, HD plasma screens and everything like that. So we had to increase the budget for that year to do that to cover the money. We actually got that back for the school's lunch programs, so we actually got 80% of the money back, so it was a really good deal for us. So we're really excited about that. If you get a chance, come take a look at it. We haven't actually been in there, so they're really nice. And this is the Schools and Libraries Division and the Universal Services Fund. This is our basic grants. These are 100% guaranteed every year if we turn in proper paperwork. This is what pays for our internet service and also pays for our telephone service. This is the requested discounts. This is like we bill it for the equipment for the cabling and the network and the routing and the things that goes along with it. So we make these requests, but they're not always honored. So sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But we got ours last year, so we're looking forward to getting some more next year. This is the amount of computers we put out. We put out 240 in 2010. We did Project Lead the Way and also Technical Academy, so it was a little bit higher than normal, but usually we run about 200 computers. When programs change, it kind of changes the mix, so we try to stick around 200. The equipment we put in, we switched over to E2020, so we put in some routing and caching servers so the videos can play faster. We worked on the plaza out here. We took out the building and networking and all the fiber that's in the ground. We also worked with Larry, this before the husband. We actually are just getting ready to start with some things over there. We changed the auditorium into the new event center. And like I said, we did our 3 distance rooms. Our person used for the W Health Science Center down in Oklahoma City. So Lydia's group does their work in those rooms. We also did some modifications to TechWorks, CAD, and also the childcare. And some of the money that I put in for the future, our future grants, is we're going to work on the trend servers. We're going to do some more work for Larry with Huska. We're going to put only fiber, put only ring in here, and increase the speed up by a factor of 10. And also try to do the same thing for wireless. So we'll be prepared. More video, more internet, new tax things, so we want to try to stay a step ahead. So if we can turn it in early enough, then we can get federal funds to help us on that. So that's great. And here are just some fun pictures. Here's some of the returns that we do on our leases. We can take them back, clean them up, check the inventory, send them back out, and either we send the sending schools or else we actually get some cash back products. Here's one of the distance rooms where we're tearing out, taking all the standard TV out, equipment out, and everything, and we switched over to HD system. So you kind of know what the difference is on your home stuff when you go to HD from standard video, what makes a big difference. Now we can actually broadcast in that from here, so it's really cool. Also tiered some rooms, putting carpet, chairs, and tables. They actually look really nice. This is the auditorium, filled in the floor, did all the work in there, and did a great job. Now they're doing that center. We actually did all the media equipment in there. We have wireless HD video and audio. And we actually have a recording system in there, so we actually record the events like National Tech, our society was in there this week. Here's the possibility. I don't know if you've all seen that yet. I think it just got an address just the other day. We've had a lot of trouble trying to get people over there because it's not on the map. We can't go there. So it's got
Where is that?
it's really close to the hospital, the new high school building over there. When we were taking out this building here, the guy was on the excavators got a little crazy and they pulled up our tires, so we got to replace it. That's fun. Now we got it buried and everything put back, and the trees look great. So. And one of the projects we did for a community service Sean went out to Little Rock last summer. We helped them map the network out and make some adjustments to it, help them out just a little bit. And as you can see, I'm standing on the roof taking a picture of him going on top of the roof. We actually do get out of the office early. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, next up is Jason for Unplugged. Standing up here. Need to get some theme music going on front of the program. Jason, superhero music.
I'd like to share with you real quick our electricity numbers for April and then cumulatively what we've done for the year. It's been, kind of a struggle with the February stuff. And I feel sometimes when I sit down, I'm real negative about, oh, we want to be 10%, we're not at 10%. I'd like to just personally say that Danielle and I appreciate what you guys have done. We really have pulled down our energy consumption and made a difference in terms of the green initiative and also from just being responsible stewards of the environment and our resources. So I'd like to just personally express my thanks for your compliance with our little initiative here. But anyway, moving on. April was not unlike January and March. We reduced our consumption. The numbers specifically, in April we went from 2011 249,000 kilowatt hours to 243,000, and those are rounded. So that's a 2% reduction month to month. We saved 5,500 kilowatt hours total. Cumulatively through the year, February was really kind of a strange month for us compared to 2011. Overall, including February, we've reduced our consumption by 1%. If we throw February out of the mix and just look at January, March, and April, we're averaging about a 4% reduction monthly in the kilowatt hours that we use on campus. That's without February, that's 25,300 kilowatt hours that we've saved as a campus, not counting February. So I looked this up. I wanted to put some sort of meaning to what that means. That's just a number, 25,300 kilowatt hours. So I went online and I went to the carbonfootprint.com website. And I plugged in what that means in terms of emissions. 25,300 kilowatt hours saves 19.76 metric tons of carbon dioxide from being released in the air in Oklahoma. So if you know how light carbon dioxide is, and you know how big a metric ton is, 20 metric tons we've saved. So that's impressive in my opinion. So the good news is the rates came down a little bit this month. That's the same thing that happened in 2011. They came down even a little more than they did in 2011, but we still paid more for our April bill in 2012 compared to 2011. Just a 4% increase, a total difference of $677. Cumulatively, through the course of the year, including all the months, including February, we're up 5% in terms of our bill. But I hopefully everybody understands that the consumption is probably more important than the bill in the long run. I think that bill will change over time. I think we'll be able to pull closer to where we were last year. Just to cry over spilled milk here, I went back and took our consumption levels at last year's rates to give you an idea of the positive impact we've had so far. So just some of these numbers. If we had last year's rates, we would have saved $326. If we kick out February, we would have saved $1,685. And for the year, using that 4% baseline, we would save almost $8,000 for the school. But that's last year's rate, so don't clap. Just trying to make you feel better. All right, so end of the year, we have some opportunities, in the school year, we have some opportunities to really increase the amount of energy that we save. June, July, August, and September are by far our 4 largest monthly electricity bills. So that's an opportunity for us to even conserve more than we have been. Would ask, Danielle and I would ask that you continue currently doing what you're doing. That informal poll we gave, everybody looks to be hooked up, the 4s and the 5s, being aware of your electricity use. Continue that, turn off lights when you don't need them, turn off computers at the end of the day. But most importantly, before you leave, if you're an instructor and you have students in your area, make sure that you do an energy audit. Look around, see what's plugged in. Dennis had mentioned at one point in time to me, tell everybody to unplug their refrigerators, clean them out, leave the doors open. that'll make an impact if we all go around and unplug our refrigerators and our microwaves and things that aren't going to be used. So take some time to make sure that you take care of energy consumption before you take off for the summer. And that's all that I have. Thank you for your time.
You worry about usage, I worry about the dollars. No, seriously, you guys are doing great, and I really think we should base this off of last year's rates. We might need to change that initiative. So here's the update as of May 8th. So on Tuesday, we had collected 11 million, a little over 11 million. Everybody still spends what they're going to spend in their budget, which at this point in time, if it's not an emergency and you do not need it to finish your classes or school or this year, hold off. Let's hold off and we'll throw that money back into our trade board to make sure we're good for next year too. So we would have $1.6 million left right now. Still not quite enough to get us through the fall. So we have $325,000 left to collect to hit our $2,275,000 carry forward. And here's the little chart. We're coming down, so we've got 1 month left. And I know a lot of you technically we have a month and a half. And I have, just this morning, told Mr. Fields I've submitted grants for about $110,000 this morning. And then we got our lottery grant reimbursement for that Barbara had written last year for the welders that Scott got in his program, and then in auto collision they got the virtual paint thing. So we got that reimbursement May 2nd. So that was $130,000. So that's going to help us out on those two areas. So that doesn't leave about 150 that you guys can affect, that if you'll really push it, we can make sure we get that. And as of Thursday at board, I reported out, we were almost 95% collected for the year. So ad valorem wise, we've already collected. Everybody's paid their taxes. And so our June check is pretty much just money in the bank for us. It'll go into our carry forward. I tend to estimate a little bit low on ad valorem sometimes because you never know how people are going to, 10% may not pay their tax. We've gotten as little as 4% is all that we usually have that do not pay their taxes in the 3 counties we're in. So that's a pretty good rate for us in our counties because not a lot of schools can say that. Most of them are 10%. That's all I've got. Keep up the good working.
Okay, we're about to wrap this little game or party up. A few updates or reminders. May 25th is our staff celebration party. It will be here on campus in the event center. It will start at 9 o'clock. Comfy clothes are appropriate. We'll be playing minute-to-win-it games. Lunch will be catered by the McAllisters. We'll have a dessert potluck, so bring your favorite desserts for the potluck lunch. We'll also do our service awards that day and just have a good time. You guys know how our staff celebrations go. So we'll be doing that. And speaking of staff celebrations, I am so happy to be working at a great place to work in Oklahoma. I have no doubt that when we do apply for the great places to work nationwide, that we will be on that list as well. And we do so many great things throughout the year. We have our staff celebration parties. We have lunch together once a month. We do a lot of great things. If you have friends that are nurses, you've probably seen on Facebook this week that it's Nurse Appreciation Week. So I would like our nursing instructors to stand up because they train many of our nurses in the community. And also, if you have kids in elementary school or you've been on our Facebook page, you'll also know that this is also Teacher Appreciation Week. And so I would like our teachers to stand up. And as a special treat, our Success Center leaders have prepared root beer and Coke floats to celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week and Nurses Appreciation Week. And they've been planning this all week, so they put this together for everyone so we can all celebrate together. Thank you all and have a great weekend.